My name's Ethan. I'm a first-year graduate student. I just graduated from this university in May, and I'm pursuing a Master's of Architecture. Relatively speaking, the architecture program at this school is very rigorous, and not to sound elitist, but a lot of the other programs are not as difficult in undergraduate. To clarify, difficult, the architecture program actually consumes a lot of your time because you're kind of learning as you go. You're kind of learning like these programs that you weren't familiar with before you entered the program. So like that takes up some time just learning stuff. Whereas at the graduate level, you kind of already know these programs, and in a sense, your work might be the same amount, but you're not taking as much time to produce the end product because you kind of have the foundation that you were brought up with in undergraduate. So I would say it's more work, but you're more efficient with your work. So far, I really enjoy my classes. Compared to undergraduate, I kind of felt like there were classes that I didn't really want to take, but I just had to take them as, Gen Eds or electives just so that I could get my degree. I'm taking all 500 level classes, although I do know that in some programs like history and preservation, they can take undergraduate history classes. It's similar to being a James Scholar where they'll have an added component, maybe a few essays that they'd have to write over the undergraduate students. So it is a little bit more difficult work-wise, but like I said before, you're more prepared to tackle that work. And the program requires a lot of math background and a lot of planning and development so that you can kind of have that strong foundation of how structures work. The workload is very similar, and I'm in the structures option, so a lot of the work that I do is actually just calculation-based problems. There's a lot more expected from you at the graduate level. The work that you produce throughout your undergraduate career is really learning, and your professors will maybe guide you a bit more than they would at the graduate level. At the graduate level, it's more up to you, and it's up to your ambition to really produce the projects that you want. And rightfully so, a lot of the students that are in the program are a lot more motivated than the students that are in the undergraduate program. In architecture, portfolio is the main selling piece of your academic career. Even after you graduate and you're in the workforce in architecture, your portfolio will stick with you. I think grades kind of come hand in hand with the work you're actually producing, and someone who's producing C-level work will not have as developed of a portfolio as someone who's producing A-level work. And employers and I guess the people that really look at if you're applying to a PhD program, for example, those people will look at the work that you produce more than they will your GPA. But like I said, it comes hand in hand. So if you're producing C-level work, like you're not going to have as good of stuff. You don't necessarily have as much of a social life just because you maybe don't know as many people as you did in undergraduate. That's not really what you're looking to have when you're in a graduate program. You're more focused in producing for that program because you're paying a lot of money for these programs, and it's not something to be taken lightly. I think, to be honest, graduate school is kind of overhyped. People think that they have to move far away, like off campus, and just study like nonstop. But for the most part, if you're in a graduate program, you already have the backing. You already have the foundation, the tools to succeed. Well, I would say at the graduate level, you're definitely a more serious student. I don't know how to say this without sounding stupid, man. You got all your partying out. I still party.